morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us across the globe. Also depending on what time you get to watch this video. Thank you so much to the new subscribers, asanteni sana, and I'd like to know where you are watching us from. So please go to the comment section, tuambie una watch kutoka wapi. And if you've not subscribed, it's not too late for you guys. You can still subscribe, hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell so that you can join our notification gang. Yes, and today on the show they say there's a quote I saw a couple of weeks ago and it really did resonate with me. A soft woman is a wolf in meditation. So on the show today I have a guest who is very talented artist, and she wants to talk about raw things that happen in the society. So it's basically a conversation and we like you to join us. So tafadhali do join us. Ita warafiki zako, please share with them, wambie link ndio hii so that they join us. Let her introduce herself.
Oh, hi Nana.
Hi.
Thank you for having me in the show.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, my name is Gloria Mura Nyariki.
Yes.
AKA Nyaboke. Now, Nyaboke is a name that was born in 2019. I'm an actress by profession. Yes. I started it in 2006. I've been doing many soaps that air in the family, whatever's channels.
Yes.
But in 2019, I ventured into the comedy sector.
Yes.
So that is when Nyaboke was born, and that is the name that is actually thriving right now.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a mother of 4 beautiful children.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm 36 years old.
Oh my God, you're very young.
I know, right?
What water, what fountain are you drinking from so that we can draw some water from Tukaika? With 36 and looking like this, you really look
I know, right? Anyway, it's just a fountain of self-love and happiness.
Absolutely. So sitting is self-love. But anyway, let me just dive into why we're having this conversation, because a couple of weeks ago you've been embroiled in a sort of drama, and of course everyone had an opinion because it was now public knowledge about a life that you wanted so private, but then somehow it got to seep into the public world and everyone had an opinion. So maybe you could take us through a little bit of just a small snippet of what happened.
Oh, well, unfortunately I lost the father of my kids, my 2 young kids.
Sorry.
And knowing me as a public figure, it was actually the first time I put it on social media. Like I was just doing my tribute and all that. So that is when the bloggers just came and removed the photos from there and started blogging about me. So from there, I couldn't even breathe or even sneeze.
Yeah.
So the bloggers were all over me like for a whole month. And I guess it's because he was also a public figure and I'm also a public figure. So that is why they found it very juicy for them to write, troll, do whatever it is that they did.
So how has that affected you?
Well, it wasn't easy at first because it's not something I'm used to. Yes, I'm a public figure, but I have never like put my life out there in public, like my relationships and all that. And it was actually the first time, so it was very tough on me for the very first time. But with time, okay, I'm human. Of course, it definitely has to get to you. But with time, I started growing thick skin. Not really thick, but I had to. You don't have a choice. Yeah, especially when you're out there, your life is out there, and you know people are just there judging and all that. So you have to actually grow that thick skin. Yeah. And you're raising boys. Of course, I'll talk about the rest of the kids, but you're raising 2 boys that belong to Ayemba's family. Yes.
And seeing all that happened to them, what was the hardest bit when it came to your sons?
Well, the hardest bit is when I had to actually sit them down and tell them about their dad's demise, because now it was all over everywhere. So there's a way my son saw, and then he asked me about his daddy. Then I had to tell him what happened, like his dad is all gone and all that, you know. They're still very young, but the older one he can at least understand a bit of it. He's just told me, okay, Mom, I'm sad, you know, stuff like that. But I know with time, it's gonna get to them, because now after that they keep on asking me a lot of questions.
Yes.
But trying as a parent to give the right answers as much as they're not right.
Yeah. But how are you planning to protect them moving forward? Because you see, this has already happened, and there are so many things you cannot unsee. They saw that. That's a memory they're gonna carry with you. So moving forward, how are you planning to help them I don't know if it's to forget or to deal with what happened.
I don't believe in forgetting. Kids don't forget. And I know I'm sure whatever happened to you when you're 3 years old, you can still remember, right? So what I can actually tell them is to live with it, like to give them a positive attitude towards everything. That's what I do with my sons.
Yeah.
Whatever happens negatively, I turn it to be, to something positive.
Yeah.
And I always try to answer them the right way.
Yes.
Because kids don't forget. Yes, they never ever forget. So they have to learn how to live with whatever situations and circumstance that is there.
Yeah. Moving forward, there's so many people that are living in very dysfunctional families, and especially when you bring in your wife and to meet your parents,
Yes.
right? And they feel like they need to have an opinion about who you should date, and they are stuck there just thinking, okay, maybe the situation will change somehow. I don't know if you started having like Mashida when, like, way before when Ayimba introduced you, or it came much later. When did that happen?
Well, first of all, personally, I come from a very close-knit family.
Yeah.
I grew up seeing my dad and mom together up until when my dad passed on in 2016. So I come from a very close-knit family. Unfortunately, I got somebody who was from a very dysfunctional family, broken families. Yes. And all that. So I tend to think that there's so much that the broken families don't get to see, the good side that this other side gets to see. You see, for now, for me, I really got into a relationship thinking that I have to have a perfect marriage like my mother and my dad, and then you get this, maybe this other person does not see the value of family, or does not see the value of a wife, does not see the value of a close-knit family, because they're used to seeing, so it's brokenness, yes. Yeah. So it is very extremely difficult, especially when you're dealing with such individuals. When it comes to the family, if you're coming from a very dysfunctional family, there are so many qualms that come in between. Yeah. Like if there was a problem in my family, for example, like maybe my brother has a wife and stuff like that, my parents would sit them down, and maybe we would sit them down and tell them, if it's if it's my brother that is on the mistake, we would actually point it out. Yeah. But somebody can come from a very dysfunctional family, whereby if it is your own son or your own brother that has that mistake, you tend to shield them. Yes. It's like, I don't know, they're probably shielding them from maybe what they've gone through in life. So that shielding also is it's like a vice. I would say it's like a vice, because it later damages that individual, because that individual will never see their kind of mistakes they're making, because you've been shielded by your own family or by your own people, so you would never see the mistake that you have in life. So the other party will always be on the wrong, regardless of whether it is you or the other party. Yes. Yeah. So that's shielding. As parents, what to do? Like for me, I have 2 kids now as a single mom, and they're both boys. So I would be making a mistake if I would shield my kids. They've made a mistake, but I shield them just because I'm the mom. They have nobody else. Yeah. So I shield them. Wakifanya makosa, I'm like, no, this is my son. Yeah. It is not right to make excuses for your child or your spouse. Yeah. If something is wrong, it is wrong.
Call them out.
Yes. Call a spade and not a big spoon. Yeah. That is where us parents go wrong, especially, and siblings as well.
And having lived in both sides of the spectrum, having come out from a family that is really close-knit, and then now joining another family that's really dysfunctional, what do you say are the lessons that you've learned that moving forward, this is what I want to do with my sons? I want to raise better kids who don't have to be, they don't have to be in that setting of, okay, it's a dysfunctional family, shafanyika. So what are the lessons that you are intentionally placing on your kids?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I would call a wrong and a right. I would not protect my child when he has done something wrong. If one has done wrong, you should scold that child and point the mistakes out to him, not shield them. And how can I put it? Like, you should not try to fit in where you are not fitting. That's all I can say. Because when you try too hard, and maybe the other party is not trying too hard, you end up hurting yourself. Yeah. So it's about equalizing. Yeah. It's about equalizing the emotions. It's about equalizing whatever it is that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you're raising your kids, you should be able to point out every wrong and every right to them. You should not, like, if you have a spouse and you're done with the spouse, you should,
yeah.
If you have a spouse and maybe you guys have had your own issues, you should not actually drag those children into your issues, because those kids never wrote an application letter for you guys to bring them to this world. Yeah. So you should at all times try and protect their emotions, because these kids are small and they're gonna grow up with the kind of energy you're giving them. Yeah. So if you give them that kind of energy, that bad negative energy, that is how they're gonna grow up, and that is how they're gonna treat their spouses. Like for example, if I have bad blood with the father, I would not tell them your father is bad or your father did this. No. That's up to me and the dad. That's up to you and your ex. Yeah. So your children should be nurtured in a very positive way, so that when they grow up, they learn to respect their spouses. They learn to respect people's spaces and people's opinion, not just their opinions, because when you shield them, they become very selfish and self-centered. Yeah. They don't care about other people's emotions and feelings.
They're desensitized.
Yes, they're desensitized. They become very, very insensitive. Yeah.
Wow. And the fact that I like the fact that you said you're a single parent to the two boys, so you're not including the two other kids. So this is just me asking, so you could actually be a single parent but not a single, woman. Yes. Right?
Yes. I'm saying that because the father of my first two kids is very much involved in his kids' lives. He's there like 24/7. He's a very, very good, excellent father. You can be a bad spouse, but a very good father.
That's really. Eminem did a song called "Good Husband, Bad Husband, Good Father."
Good father,
yes. Because you can actually be a good father, but you're a terrible spouse. Exactly. But that does not mean that you should. And most relationships, especially right now, there are so many people that a man is willing to be in a child's life, but just because he was a bad partner to you, you want to punish him.
Yes.
Through this child.
Yes.
Yeah, like what could you tell them?
I've spoken about this. I normally have shows on
Facebook Live.
Facebook Live, Nyaboke page on Mondays, and I talk about this every other time. I say, like, if you have an issue with me, these kids should not suffer because I have bad blood with you.
Yeah.
Just because me na wewe tumekosana, haimanishi our kids should suffer.
Yes.
Because as much as we say now nimekosana umse sitaki mambo yake, those kids, they need what is called emotional stability. It is extremely important. Leave the financial bit. For kids, there are some fathers who are just going to throw money there and not be there for the kids. These kids do not need presents from us parents. They do not need money from us. What they need is our presence.
Presence, yes.
It is very, very important.
Yes.
And you will see how that child will grow emotionally. In as much as you guys don't live together, that child will be very confident and good upbringing.
Yeah, because they say, like, if you want to be in your child's memory tomorrow, then you have to be present.
You have to be present, not bring the presents.
Exactly. Don't bring the gifts. They don't value gifts. They don't value time. Their memories are in form of time. How I spent. Oh, nilikuwa na dad, and then we did this. Then
na dad ameleta ndizi ya 10 bob.
And that is let's talk about this. What about if a parent wants to be in a child's life? And hana kakiros na wewe unadai kakiros juu mtoi lazima asome, so do you prevent him from seeing the child just because they can't come through financially?
That is where us ladies go wrong. We go very, very wrong, because that child doesn't know that my dad has 10 bob, has 100 bob, or has 10,000 bob, 100,000 bob. That child doesn't know. The child has seen his father. That's enough. The child has seen her father. That is enough. And us ladies, that's where we go wrong. We should give our children opportunities to bond with their daddies.
Yeah.
Because now, sometimes we rush to stepfathers who have money, and then our kids end up just being emotionally useless.
Yeah.
But the father is there. The fact that the father wants to be in their lives, let us allow the fathers to be in their lives. This is something I've gone through as a parent, and at some point I had issues with my baby daddy, with the late my ex.
Yes.
And my child would tell me, "Mommy, why don't you want me to talk to daddy?" I'm like, "No, you can talk to daddy. I don't have a problem."
Yes.
So I had to lie to him, like, daddy has gone everywhere.
Yes.
He's at work somewhere. So my kid knows the father is there, yes, but he's not around for him to talk to. But then at times he's like, "How come I'm speaking to my auntie in the States and daddy's in the States and he cannot talk to me?" I'm like, "No, there's no network, because even before he died, my kids did not know we had issues.
Yeah.
Because you have to protect them. You see, like boys.
Yes.
Boys are very funny kids. Because as much as you would want the father to look bad,
yeah,
they would not accept it easily.
Yeah.
They would not want to, like, you know, my kid would always like, hey, you know my father, you guys, you don't know my father, you've not seen my dad on TV, you know. He's very proud.
Yeah.
And why would I want to shatter his emotions?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
It's very, I say for us parents, we become very selfish with our stupid emotions. We are selfish because we don't think about our young ones.
Yes.
They didn't bring themselves to the situations. So it's up to us to control the situations and just give them nothing but positive vibes, because our toy bado wenda tu kutafuta mababa zao.
It's true, but they baadaye tu wataenda kutafuta.
Oh yeah.
And someone said if you don't heal from your toxic, you know, behaviors before you get your child, then your child will heal from the toxic environment that you put them through. And truly that does make sense. But when it comes to co-parenting, you co-parent with your the daddy to the first two kids.
Yes.
Talk to us about, is he involved, heavily involved in the also co-parenting also these other young ones?
Yes, he's extremely involved.
Okay.
And taking care of his kids. We talk about it. We go to school. We do this. Like that, you know. He's a very good friend of mine. Yeah. Yeah.
Is he also involved in the boys' life?
No, he's not. But I know them like, hi, just.
So that was the agreement.
Well.
Yeah.
We separated like 11 years ago, so clearly 11 years ago,
makes
so
sense.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So, but he's there for his kids like 100%.
I like the fact that you're very passionate about talking about these things without blurring, no blood lines, because wacha nikwambie huku nje watu wengi sana wako na mashida, and sometimes I feel like it's a superpower because there are so many people who can't solve their own problems, but in fact hata ukimwambia shida yako ako hiyo ni kitu kidogo, but mwingine anashangaa what mimi siwezi, I can't do this. I just want you to talk to parents, like what are the biggest lessons that you've learned from just raising your kids?
Well, I've learned, okay, what I can tell parents, you know, I've always said, like, most of us do not actually love our children, but we are just obligated to take care of our kids. That's why you'd find somebody is not really happy. You might find yourself not really happy somewhere, but you're just taking care of your kids because you're obligated as a parent. What I always tell parents is like, just find yourself first. Find yourself first within. Find your own love and happiness first. When the moment you find your love and happiness from the inside, you would not feel like it's a duty. It will come out freely. You will ooze all of that to your kids, to your everyone, because I found like there's so many toxic relationships that end up affecting our children, and we do not know about it. And parents should listen to their children. The small things that our kids tell us, they really matter, because if we don't listen to the small things they're trying to tell us, they will not reveal the bigger things that they want to talk to us about. So it is up to us parents, whether you're from a toxic, whatever it is that it is, you have to deal with your demons. I have dealt with a lot of demons, trust me, Nana, so that I can take care of my boys. It is not easy even for me to talk about it. I guess it's because me doing free spirit. Somebody else might be having worse than me or even lighter than me, but they cannot talk about it. But I just encourage the parents to talk about it. And then niwaambie to, marriage is not a ticket to heaven. A relationship is not a ticket to heaven, because I would rather you be single there than ukaenda msee mwenye maybe anakuchapa ama maybe anakupatia emotional, financial, physical abuse, which is not important. And you need to be very stable so that your kids are also stable.
And true. And you've worked from situations that didn't serve your peace. I mean, there's so many people that are stuck in toxic relationships because wanna feel longevity ya relationship yao. Oh, tumekaa 10 years, mimi sasa nitamwacha.
So would you? So you kill yourself.
Waongeleshe.
You cannot kill yourself.
They will be on the comment
section. People will judge you. I was judged I was called big names just simply because I have two baby daddies. I mean, it's life at the end of the day. People will judge you, but at the end of the day, think about it. I am going to this bed alone. I am going through this alone. Nana doesn't know what I'm going through.
That's true.
Nana is probably having much worse than me. And she's going to talk during the day and sleep at night. So what do I want? What is it that I want? At first, when I walked out of my first marriage, I was really... I had hidden so much from my family. But when I revealed it out, they were so shocked. And then, you know, your mom is there. Sasa watu watasema nini? You know, that is what people do. you get stuck in a relationship because of what people will say.
Yes.
Watu watasema nini.
Yeah.
So I stuck there because watu watasema nini. Hey, I reached a point to say that, you know what?
Si lazima.
Si lazima. Wacha watu waseme. And they walisema na wakanyamaza and life went on.
Yeah.
It's not like they fed me or did anything. So before you think about what people are going to say, think about what you are comfortable with, what you are okay with. That is what people, because people will always talk. Ufanye mazuri, people will talk. Ufanye mabaya, people will talk. So just do you and be you.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill yourself for somebody's son ama somebody's daughter. Pia wewe ni mtoto wa mtu tu. Even you, somebody's child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nimeris both boys and a girl. How is it? Is it different for you? Because kwangu it's very different.
Extremely different because my girl is my firstborn.
Yeah.
I only have one daughter.
Okay.
And she's unajua tu madam, calm. She's very she's always been a calm child from childhood. And it was an easy journey for me and her and stuff like that. But boys, we once I have two small ones in the house, chaos.
Yeah. But chaos. do they know that they don't have the same
yes, dad? I tell my kids everything because my first kids saw the late before, you know, they saw him and they knew him and everything, so they know the father to these other ones. Yeah. So even these ones know, like when the father is speaking, the older ones are not Baba is here, you know. Yeah. So
what are the dynamics?
Well, they're easy, but the young ones are like, Mommy, how come we're not going with him?
Oh yeah.
I'll come and pick you guys tomorrow. You know, we have to play, you know, because he's married and it's good to keep people in their own spaces. You know. So we're okay.
Yeah. So hakuna hizo ma story kama za nyumba ndogo.
No. We don't. Actually, the wife is also a friend of mine. She's a good lady. Yeah. We live well. We are peaceful. Yeah.
Manze, last parting shot because manze uko na gems. I wish tungekuwa hapa longer. But manze, parting shot to kitu to parents because I'm very passionate about parenting.
It's very important. Yes. And parents should let their children be who they are. Do not force your child to be somebody do not mold your child into something that you want.
Yes.
Let them be a free spirit and choose for themselves what they want to be, because that also affects their future and their families. The families that they're gonna get in future as well. Yeah.
But now since everything is out there and of course it was such a mess, especially during the burial, are the kids gonna see maybe a therapist so that maybe they can walk through the journey, or what steps are you taking to just?
Well, they've never asked. Because my kids are very vocal, especially my 5-year-old is very vocal and is very open. Yes. He's never asked me, but for the 3-year-old, I don't think maybe he does, but he knows like almost nothing because I think he's still young. But the 5-year-old he's very, very open. But for him not to have asked me up until now, maybe he'll ask at some point in life. I'm waiting for that day and I'll explain to him, you know. I don't hide, I explain.
Wow.
I give it to you in black and white. From there,
but what are some of the conversations that you have with your elder daughter?
Very deep, very deep, because she's 16, so clearly
a teenager.
Yeah, she's a teen. So we talk about anything and everything.
Especially in this space of social media, where they can get any information.
Yes, and she knows. She tells me, you know what, Mom, you just do your thing. I know we are two different people. She's an introvert, I'm an extrovert. You know, she knows I'm out there and doing what. She's like, hey, Mama, you're a celeb. Hey, all these numbers, all this. She's always following and saying, Then I'm like, you know, my content is over 18. Yada, whatever. We talk about this. We talk about boyfriends. We talk about sex. We talk about everything. Because you know, she's older now, so we have to talk about everything. So she's more like my best friend. I do not hide anything from my kids. Like whatever they ask, I give them to them in black and white. Because you are the size in our generation, Mommy, you cannot afford to hide anything from your kids. So it's been smooth with her. She's a very nice girl, smooth, very smooth. And I keep praying to God it continues like that until she's of age.
Amen. As
it change.
But of course, create zinaitwaje steps, so anajua.
Yes, anajua. And she actually tells me, I do not want your life. I do not want your life. Like I told her, if you want to get a child at 20, like me, now it's up to you. You know, we'll take care, but it's up to you. You decide. Do you want to get married at 19 like me, or do you want to go to school? You know, we have those options. We joke about them a lot, even the dad.
But is it crazy just getting married young. I mean, 19
it's
years.
Crazy.
You don't even know yourself.
I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Nothing, like just from high school to, he was my boyfriend when I was still in high school.
Yeah.
So straight from high school, nikaolewa. Hata nikiwa na ball sikuwa najua, like I'm like, babe, I have malaria. He's like, uko na ball wewe? I don't know.
Yeah, najua.
Anajua uko na ball. Mimi sijui na what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So it's crazy. And then when you get married at that time, when you do not know yourself, then you come to discover yourself later on. Sometimes when your spouse does not understand, it becomes a problem. Like me, I started acting professionally when I was 21. So 21, wow. 2006. So it brings about a lot of friction.
Yes.
Like your dude would be like, anaona job, anaona siku moja anakuja anapata tu kuria watu machalika 7 but anasema hapana hapa iwezi, so unaanza kufight vitu kama hizo. So it's crazy. So
just finish.
So by the time you get older, you come to learn, manze, this is not the person for me, maybe, because now that person is trying to suppress your talent and all that. So you decide, you know what, I have to live. You've not lived your life, remember?
Yes.
Because you get married.
Of course not.
Ujaishi maisha, uja party, ujafanya nini, you've not done anything.
So you're stagely seeping into your life at some point?
Definitely.
You have to pass through it.
I passed through it for sure. I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Kuna conversations zimekuwa zikiendelea kwa social media. I know I said parting short, but honestly, udaku is the social media ya nyumba ndogo. And I don't know, sitaki kuwataja majina, but wewe pia umeona hizo video.
Nimekuwa kwa hiyo situation.
That's why I'm asking.
What I would say is that if a man decides to have more than one house, let him go out there and make it right for those women, because atujikatiangi, by the way. Atujikatiangi, machali utukatia. So can he make it, just put his house in order, and let every mama keep to his lane. If he wants more than one wife, boundaries have to be kept, and your family also has to respect that. Don't be a coward. If you've decided I'm that sibor, I want to marry 10 wives, can you be that man and take control? Don't let family control your relationship. Do not let people control your relationship. Do not let your wives control the relationship.
Because there are so many men out there who want to be alpha male, but they'll never do things that alpha males do.
They don't. Like, they do it in your magic.
You're just being a coward over there. But iko sawa. Asante sana Nyaboke. And guys, by the way, you need to catch Nyaboke on our Facebook live. Able plug yourself where people can find you.
My Facebook page is Nyaboke. You'll find me there. Instagram, you'll find me Nyaboke Mora there, and you'll find me on YouTube as well. I have a YouTube channel.
Yes.
Nyaboke Mora as well.
We're active, kabisa.
Nitajikaza.
Watch content. So guys, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you got inspired. I hope you learned something, because that's why we do what we are doing. If you're not coming to this channel and learning a thing or two, then manze, you're doing a very great injustice to yourself, because I know we serve gems every Monday. And thank you so much for the new subscribers. And if you have any product that resonates with what we do, as long as it's of good quality, please do get in touch with us. We will definitely contact you and of course do this. Kaka Empire Studios, thank you for this. And you, when do guest ule mzee, asanteni sana, and see you next weekend for another hot topic. See you then. Mwah.